So in the third subtask of the CSV Data Analyzer project, we will be performing simple statistics on the numeric columns. So let's look at how we're going to implement this. We're going to import the statistics module to perform functions like mean, minimum and maximum. So let's look at the list of tasks we have to complete for this particular subtask. First, we're going to handle in case we have any empty data, and then we're going to take the numerical columns. So the thing is, first we have to take all the column names from the first row, and after that we're going to go through each column to make sure that we have numerical columns, because we cannot perform statistics on columns which are strings, like let's say name. We cannot perform statistics on name. So we can do that by converting each value inside the column into a float. In case you can't convert it into a float, like let's say you can't convert a string into a float, then we're going to skip that column because it's going to be text. Or else we're going to take that in and store it into a particular list. And for each numerical column, these are the statistics we'll be computing. We'll be taking the total number of null values, the average of the values, and the minimum and the maximum value. So over here they're given the expected output from this particular program. Now let's look at the code. First we're going to import the CSV module from Python, and then we're going to import the statistics module from Python. And this particular function has been explained in the previous subtask. Now let's look at the basic statistics function. We're going to take in the list of dictionaries as an input, and we're going to run a simple if function to handle in case there is any empty data. And then we're going to print out basic statistics. And then over here, we're going to make a list of columns. As I explained previously, data of 0 gives the initial dictionary in the list, and from that initial dictionary, we are going to only take the key values in that initial dictionary. So basically the key values of a dictionary will be the columns. So we're going to store that in the columns list. So in this columns list, we have the list of all columns present in the particular CSV. Now we're going to iterate through every single column in that columns list. So here we have a try and except block. So as I explained previously, we're going to give a code in try block. And in case you get any errors from the code in the try block, we're going to run the code in the except block. So first we're going to initialize an empty values list, which will contain the float values of the particular column. And now we're going to iterate through each row in the data list. Then we're going to give a simple if statement. If row of column exists, if so, we're going to give values.append float row of column. As I told previously, we're going to convert everything to float. Therefore, if there's anything we can't convert to float, let's say like a string, then it's going to give out an error, and we're going to go to the except block where we have simply given continue so that we can skip that particular column. So after converting the value into a float, we're going to append it to the empty list which we initialized over here, that is values. Now we're going to run a simple if statement, that is if values exist. Then first we're going to print out the column. So if values exist, then we're going to print out these following statements. So why have we given F over here? The F over here stands for format. So basically, if we have any value present in the flower bracket over here, it's going to print the actual value instead of whatever variable is given over here. Let's say I had not given F and I removed the flower brackets. Then what would happen is it would just print column, or even if I kept the flower brackets, it would print out with the flower brackets column instead of the actual value of column. So what we want is we want to print out the actual value of the column. So we're going to give F and we're going to give the flower bracket. Now what we need to keep in mind is we are still in the first iteration of this for loop. So for this particular column in the columns list, we are going to initialize an empty values list, and we're going to add the data to this particular list. And at the same time, we're going to print out all of these. So then we're going to print out the number of non-null values using len of values, which will give out the length of the values list, which is basically the number of data values we have. So over here we are printing out the mean values. So you might be wondering, what is this colon.2f over here mean? So first let's look at the function. So this particular function is from the statistics module which we imported over here. And then using that module, we're going to run the statistics mean function, which will give the average of the values. And then this colon.2f is basically a format specifier. F over here stands for floating point number, and the .2 over here tells Python that we want to show 2 digits after the decimal point. Like let's say there's like 10 digits after a decimal point. but we want to show only 2 digits to make it look uniform. And then we're going to print the minimum value over here. And similarly, we're going to print out the maximum value over here. And these two functions are inbuilt in Python. And then we have the except block over here, which is simply going to continue because it means we're going to skip through the non-numeric columns. And this particular function has been explained in the previous subtask. Similarly, in the main function, there are no changes. So let's just run this code once. So our data name is data.csv. So after loading the CSV, let's just show basic statistics. And we can see that for each numeric column, we have given the basic statistics. In this particular data set, only age is numeric. Hence, we have only given the stats for that. We have the null values, mean, minimum, and maximum. So let's just submit this code once and see if it's proper. So we have passed all 3 test cases, and let's move on to the next subtask.